Aloha and happy Moonday to those of you that are watching this in real time. For those of you that aren't, just a reminder that these messages are timeless, and whenever you come across them, whenever you're able to listen to them, is when the message is for you. They are also reminding me that their messages will shift and change depending on your consciousness and the levels of stuff that you grow through. So you may have done one of the pick a card readings before, and it may pop back up for some reason, and they're saying trust that because there may be another message from a different card that's resonating for you that wasn't in resonance before. So you can come back to these readings over and over again as you're called, and you will get different messages every time. And they're saying, and you may get the same message if you haven't really taken it in yet, if you haven't had a chance to just really feel into it and work through it. So maybe if you're in the middle of a cycle and something keeps coming up and you just need that extra reminder, it may pop back up for you to get back into the energy of what is going on currently in your vibration. So just a brief introduction. I am Xamanxi. I am a spiritual medium, and I connect with passed on loved ones, and I connect with different realms or different frequencies. So it's like a radio. I can tune into many different frequencies, and when I do these readings, there's a lot of messages that come through from different vibrations. So take what resonates for you, and please leave the rest for whomever else the messages are for. You may pick a card, and most of the reading is tailored to you and your vibration, and there may be parts that aren't in your frequency, and that's okay. You just leave those for others. The more you listen to these, the more your guides will align with mine, and I'll be able to bring more intuitive messages that are connected just for you. Today, I'm feeling a lot of abundance. Wow, there's so much, abundance. Most people talk about abundance and prosperity and wealth, but abundance is so much more than that. It's being abundant in life, which really means being close to God, being close to a higher power, being close to the Creator, whatever you want to call it, whatever it resonates for you. But it's being in that vibration where you are honest and standing in integrity, and you don't have to tell those little white lies to make people feel better, because you can be your authentic self, and people that are in your life are going to completely understand that, and they're going to respect you for that. And there may be times where you have to express yourself in ways that don't feel great, is what they're telling me. Like, there may be times when you just need to speak your truth, and as long as you are watching the tone that you speak it in, as long as you are doing it from a place of love, even if it's something that the person who is receiving is either not ready to hear, or doesn't think they're ready to hear, or doesn't care to hear, you speaking your truth and being honest with them is going to be so much more respectful, and it's puts you in the vibration of polarity. So we're shifting the way that this ascension is going. We're shifting out of duality, the like the yin yang symbol, the dark, all the darkness with a little bit of light, and all of the light with a little bit of darkness, and the balancing in between, into a space of polarity, where in polarity we get back what we vibrate out. Whatever energy we're radiating, we're going to get that energy back. And there's been times, and there's been clients that I've worked with over the years for the past 4 years now, going on 5. And there's been times where they've gone out and they said, oh, like I walked through this neighborhood and it was the worst neighborhood and it was this and it was that. And, when I told them to check their vibration and see where they were at, it may have just been their vibration. They may have been having a really bad day. They may have been off, right? I also had a friend that was talking to myself and my husband about just being in a horrible mood one day, really feeling a lot of energy moving through them. And they were out on a trail, really just trying to get into nature and let it go. And at one point across the trail, somebody like screamed out to them and started hollering at them and just being really rude and mean. And this person was telling us this story, and they said, I didn't realize at the time, I'm like, what did I ever do to you? I don't know you. They didn't know the person that was yelling at them. They didn't do anything wrong. They weren't even in their vicinity, like close to them. They were yelling at them from like across the way. And it was such an angry energy. And they said, I didn't know this person, but when I really sat with it, I realized that was the energy that I was emanating, this, I had a shitty morning or a shitty day, and I was out and I was trying to just get out of my head and let some stuff go. And while I was out there, I was so engulfed in this angry energy that I didn't realize that I was attracting the bat back to me, right? So the realization, of knowing what we put out is what we are going to get back. And then being able to tap into self and see where, what's coming up is we're shifting into a vibration of really learning how to trust. And that's not easy after so much time of us being, lied to or scammed or betrayed or just being taught things that were not truth, and, having a truth at a specific vibration. And now that we're breaking out of this whole matrix system, we're realizing what our truth is, what feels good in our soul. So even through, ancestry, it may be like, we've done it this way, for X amount of generations. And it's like, okay, and that may have worked where that generation started. However, humanity has evolved so much that maybe what worked for my great-grandmother's generation is not going to work for my child's generation, much less my own. And so it's really getting into that space of trusting. And to be able to trust, we need to be able to be truthful and honest with self. And what that means is that we're not making things up, we're not lying, we're not covering things up, we're not trying to withhold information, anything like that. We are just being our true, authentic self, no matter what that means. Now, I'll give you a scenario. I was with someone not that long ago, and we were working through something and really just enjoying our time together and having a good time. And they had already had plans going on in the evening. This was during the daytime. And they said, well, let me just cancel my plans. I'll just tell them that, something came up and I have to work late. And, I asked them, well, do you have to work late? And they're like, no, I don't. I just don't want to cancel on them last minute. I feel bad about it. And then they were like, okay, well, maybe I'll say this instead. And, society has taught us to cover things up to make other people feel better. And in reality, if you can just say, my energy changed. I really was feeling like I wanted to get together this evening. And now, not so much. So, I thank you for the invitation. I'm going to go ahead and have to cancel this time, right? If we can just be honest with people in that space. And, for me, this shifted for me a few years back. I want to say like 4 years ago, and I just came across this journal topic the other day. I was like going through some of my old journals and looking through some of my content, and what I saw in one of my old journals was at that time I was not feeling well, and I ended up being late to a yoga class. And I got there and I told them like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was running late because of work. And the truth was, I just wasn't feeling it that day. It took a lot of energy for me to get to that class. And although I was happy to be there, and I obviously was a little ashamed of being late, which is why I made up the story of coming late from work, afterwards I felt so shitty. I felt like, why did I lie to this yoga teacher who could probably care less where I was at or what I was doing before I got here? And they're not going to judge me. They may just tell me like, please try not to be late again. Or if you're late again, we're not going to let you in the class, whatever it may be. But why in that moment did I feel so ashamed that I needed to make up something to make myself feel better? And then after everything was said and done, I had an amazing yoga class. I was in Shavasana. And afterwards I was walking to my car and I thought like, God, now I'm living with this guilt of lying to someone over something so stupid, so stupid. Like, there's no reason for me to have to carry shame for not being able to be there on time. Yes, it is nice to be punctual and to show respect to people. And if the yoga class really didn't want me there past a certain time, they would cut me off and not let me in. And maybe it was my saving grace and I really needed that yoga class that night, and pushing myself at the very last minute to get there shifted me. So instead of bringing all of those, all of this energy of shame, of guilt, of whatever it was that I was feeling even before getting to that class, instead of snowballing it and making it something much larger than it was, I could have just been honest in that moment and said, I had a really hard time getting here tonight. I want to be here. I know that I need to be here. I know that yoga does so much for me in my healing, and I had a hard time getting here. I respect your time. It won't happen again. Or, if I'm late again, please feel free to not let me join the class. Just whatever, right? There's so many other ways that I could have went through that. So Spirit's bringing this through because they want you to be more comfortable being you, being in your truth, being in your authenticity, speaking up. And that's what's bringing this abundance. And this abundance is here. There's so much like the energy that wanted to come out today. I can't remember what this crystal is actually called. It's stunning when you can see it in the light. And she's very fragile. However, she is really about anchoring prosperity and abundance into your life. And then we have the true citrine crystals that came in, these little clusters that wanted to be here, and the golden healer. So lots of gold energy. The alabaster from Egypt. So it's beautiful alabaster piece. And then the sardonyx heart. Some of you may be familiar with this from the last portal reading. And the copper to ground us, right? Because there's a lot of it's good energy, it's joy, it's play, it's fun, it's good health, it's community, it's it's tribe. It feels so good. And I was just speaking with a soul sister the other day about how 2024 has been this space of this point of creation, or this void, or this waiting room. And I joked with her. I told her, it feels like the waiting room from the movie Beetlejuice, where there's just so much crazy stuff going on, and you're sitting there watching everything, and you can't quite go in the door, like step to the next level yet, but we're already done with the past selves. So it's we've shifted timelines so quickly, Spirit is telling me, that everything now has to catch up. And so this year has been about resilience, about patience, about waiting for everything to come into balance. And although we may feel like we are in balance and things are aligned, and we feel that abundance, right? It's almost like we can taste it. It's tangible. We can, you can literally feel it. And yet we're still in this waiting room between our old selves and, our connection to our higher selves, to our next level, to our leveling up, to our evolution. And so this waiting room space, it doesn't feel great, you guys. It's not easy. I'll be the first to tell you that. It has been it's been a roller coaster is probably the best way I can describe it. It's like up and down. It's like that the door opens and we see what the new life is like, and then it slams shut and we get kicked back into the old life, and all of this stuff comes up that we need to work through very quickly. And yes, we are processing things a lot faster, but we're still in this in-between space where we're just waiting for enough. They're telling me we're waiting for enough souls to push through to that next level. So we're holding the light. We're holding the light and we're anchoring it in. And there's a lot of darkness that's coming up through the light, right? All of this darkness is coming through this past door. And we're just holding the light in the center. And on the opposite side is everything that we could ever imagine, and so much more, right? So part of this waiting right now, they're telling me is it's opening us up to be able to receive what is to come, right? And so right now we're like in this corridor between the 12/12 portal and solstice. And I feel like this space is going to be a big shift for humanity. And as we move forward, things are already moving fast, but they're going to start accelerating even more. So that is the intro. I know it was long, but these messages really want to come out. Spirit is my guides are really trying to get me to be in front of the camera and just talk, and it's not easy. I'm a highly sensitive person. I feel energies through text messages, through social media. I feel energies from, driving in my car next to whoever else is driving. I feel so much. And yes, I am divinely protected, but adding that layer of being seen, I know I'm getting a lot closer to it. So these will change, the intuitive messages and how I relay them to you. However, while I'm still in this transition space myself, I will still be using the cards. What's funny is I typically do these Moonday readings with 2 piles. Those are the energies that are coming through. And I always ask, is there more than 2? Is there less? It's been 2 piles lately. And then I use my Dreams of Gaia tarot deck to go deeper. And this time, my Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, by the time I got everything set up, it was not in sight, like nowhere close to me. And, I wanted to go looking for it, and Spirit was like, stop, just stop. You can do this. They're letting me use 3 oracle decks besides the one that's out for the original choice. So I will be using those to channel through, and whatever other messages want to come through. You'll just be hearing me speak, sometimes seeing my hands. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the abundance, there is this energy of being in your power, of standing in your power, of being your authentic self, of speaking your truth. This Gemini full moon that we just transitioned through really opened up the throat chakra for communication and expression of self. So you're going to see a lot more people starting to express themselves, which is amazing, because when we express ourselves, it gives other people permission to express themselves. Like when we feel safe doing it, other people feel safe doing it. So we rise together. All right, so that being said, we have the harvest, the abundance with the crystals that came in, and then we have the 2 separate cards for today. So these cards, let's see if I can zoom. Okay, so 2 cards. So the first one, this card on the left is Lineage. Lineage, and it says nothing is forgotten. Also 28, which reduces to the number 10, which is completion of a cycle. It may feel like if you choose this pile, you may have just gone through some tower moments. You may have felt like things were falling apart, and now you're finally at the space where you can level up and move into the next space. This card on the right is Transcendence, and it's telling us rise above. And the number 42 reduces to 6, and 6 is love. 6 is divine union. 6 is it's connection, it's soul family, it's tribe, it's community. It really is about being in oneness. So those are your 2 piles. Go ahead and choose which one is best for you at this time. If you need help, close down your eyes, take a few deep breaths, pause the video, and when you open your eyes, your guides will take you to whatever image is best for you at this time. I'm going to go ahead and move into the Lineage card. We'll start there, see what messages want to come through for the next several days, and then the timestamp for Transcendence will be below in the description. Alrighty, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Aloha to those of you who chose the Lineage card. Now, the Lineage, what's coming through for this card is that it's not, they're telling me it's not earthly lineage. Am I saying that correctly? It's not the lineage of your ancestors here on earth, your human body self. This is lineage from different dimensions of time and space. Now they're telling me different dimensions because there is some lineage that's still coming through that's in a lower vibration. And these are earthbound? Yes. So these are earthbound spirits, family members, loved ones, friends, acquaintances, anyone that you were related to that transitioned in a low vibration, right? So like things like deeply depressed, it could be even be like chronic dis-ease, and they lived with it for a long time and they weren't ready to leave their family yet. It could be they're telling me it could be people who died of alcohol abuse, of drug overdose, of suicide. These are spirits that it could be. They're telling me there's somebody too that has like this stubbornness in their lineage, where they're just like, they know they can rise and they're like, nope, I'm not going yet. I'm not going yet. We had that. I had that recently with somebody very close to me, where a person in their lineage was like, nope, I'm not ready to go. I'm going to stay here. And they kept coming to me to channel and medium for this person. And, you know, we have to keep telling them like that they could rise and then they could connect with them in a different vibration. But the vibration that they were in wasn't the best vibration for them to connect. Anyhow, that came through because I feel like some of you are experiencing this as well, where there are, especially right now, they're telling me because of the season, right? Because of the holiday season. Holidays can be, if you celebrate the holidays, it can be difficult for a lot of people. While, yes, it may bring families together, it also highlights the family that we've lost, right? It highlights things that we went through around this time. And the winter season is not typically the time to be out socializing and like comfort in community. It's really more of a time to like have your home base community and to snuggle down and to get cozy and get, you know, into this like hibernation mode for the winter, so that by the spring you can come out and relate again. And so what they're telling me is that there are a lot of earthbound spirits that are around you. Now, I want to make this clear that earthbound spirits are not bad. It's not that you have anything bad around you, no matter how they transitioned or what type of energy they were in. It just means that they are here on earth as a soul without a body. And so in that space, it can be very comforting sometimes. You know, I had an uncle who transitioned through suicide, and he was earthbound for many, many years before he was able to reincarnate. And when he came around, it was actually really comforting to have him come around. You know, he would sometimes change the music that I was playing while I was, you know, listening to music and cleaning, or he would sometimes, I would feel like a tap on my shoulder. Like I'm very sensitive, so I feel these things more than others, but there were ways that he communicated with me. You know, I'd be listening to one radio station and he'd shift it to another, and his presence was so comforting with me. And when we talk to these earthbound spirits, when we connect with them, we can see what they want. And you can connect with them through a medium like myself, or you can connect with them on your own, as long as you're open to it. It really is just a mindset and a belief. So if you feel like you've had earthbound energies that are visiting you lately, ask them what they want. Ask them what they're there for. We learned a couple years ago at Cosmic Awakening in Sedona, we learned how to really let some of the earthbound spirits that we didn't want in our home, how to get them out of our home. And it's really just being direct with them. It's saying, you know, are you here for my best interest, for my highest good? And filling into that and then saying, if you're not here for my best interest, you need to go. You are not welcome here. You need to leave. And being very strict in that, saying, your energy is not welcome here. You need to leave. You need to go. It's funny, I say that, and the music is changing to this detox and cleansing frequency. And so cleansing them out and letting them know, hey, I know that you're here and it's not okay. And you need to go somewhere else because you're not welcome in my home, right? So having that boundary with them. And then others that are passed on loved. So that may be like somebody who, it could be an earthbound spirit that connected to you. This is just the easiest way for me to explain it. So like being at a bar, a lot of earthbound spirits hang out around bars because maybe they were depressed and lonely and drinking a lot before they transitioned. And so they go back to those spaces that brought them comfort when they were here. And bars bring a lot of comforts to lonely souls. I know, I used to be one of them. And so maybe you picked up some people that, some earthbound souls that were, in one of those spaces like a bar or a nightclub or somewhere like that, and you brought them home with you, and you don't know them, you don't want them, so let them know that your home is your sanctuary and that they are not welcome in your space. Now, if it is an earthbound spirit, an earthbound soul that is of a passed on loved one, like a grandmother or like my uncle that came through, you can talk to them, you can connect with them, you can ask them if something happens and the lights flicker and you felt like our intuition, no matter if you're tapped into your intuition or not, our intuition as humans is very strong. There's a gut feeling that we feel, right? When we feel when something's not right, or we feel when things are unknown. So just ask, let's just say your mother passed on. You can say, Mom, is that you? And then wait for a reaction and say, okay, if it is you, please give me a sign. And then you might see the lights twinkle again, right? So you can start to talk to them and you can bring comfort to them and to self. There may be some things that you want to connect with and ask about. There may be some things that you just need to, maybe they're just around for the holidays and they just want to be close to you. And so you can connect with them in that space and you can ask them to bring you messages. You can ask them how they want to bring you messages. Is it going to be through like twinkling lights? My uncle used to close the doors in my space. He didn't like the space that I was in. It was not in the best neighborhood. So if I left the door open, he would close it. There are different ways that they can communicate with us. They can communicate through signs like synchronicities, number synchronicities, feathers, animals, whatever it may be, but ask them to connect with you. I feel like there's some messages that want to come through your lineage from different dimensions. And so perhaps tapping into one of those dimensions is great. And if you don't feel like you're able to tap in, if you're having a hard time with that, that is what I do for a living. So if you would like to schedule a one-on-one session where I can channel and medium for you and get you to communicate with them through me, that is part of my dharma and something I love to do is connecting with them. So moving on, they said there are also cosmic beings that have been trying to connect with you. And so I've been feeling this. I've seen this in a few different readings now, that there's cosmic family that's wanting to come through and connect. And so let's see if we can get any messages from them. I will channel now for the cosmic families that want to come through and connect. Okay. Ooh, take a risk. Yes. So especially with cosmic families, right? Take a risk. I remember the first time that I heard light language was through a good friend of ours. And it, like even she didn't know what was going on. She's like, I just know that every time I receive, this energy from you, which we were exchanging jore and diksha at the time, and that they would say, like, this comes out, and I just speak it and I don't know what it is. And because she was willing to open herself up to the risk of, the unknown, not knowing what it is, like allowing that that fire to burn inside of her and to really come out and create more warmth in her life. The light language, I remember talking to her maybe like a year later, and she said, now it just comes through. I could be driving my car and listening to music and the light language comes through, and it's very healing for myself. So allowing yourself to open up to things that aren't in your maybe you are not used to these types of things. And like, so for self, one of my very first Reiki sessions, I had no idea what I was doing. All I know is that I needed to quit drinking, and I was looking for every option to help me do that. And I went to a Reiki session, and I walked in, and the woman asked if she could read my tarot cards before my session. And I refused. I told her, absolutely not. I don't want anything to do with that. I grew up, in a Catholic family. So it was just like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Don't ever ask me that again. And look, here I am using my tarot and oracle cards to connect for y'all. So allow yourself to take some risks. Open up to what the possibility is, because they're saying, like, your cosmic family wants to work through you. Fall in love with your own story. Yeah, when you start to really listen to self and love self and do the things that that don't, like, stop people pleasing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They're like, spit it out. You don't worry about what people are going to think or say or do, and you just do them. Magical things are going to happen for you. Magical things. I remember meeting, a good friend, and them saying, I see fairies. Like, I see them when we're out, when we're in nature. I see them all around. And I thought it was the most amazing thing. And the majority of society at that time might have thought that she was crazy, or that she was making stuff up, or that she was being a certain way. But she took the risk to open up to me and tell me, I see fairies. And so they're saying, cozy up with that. Like, live your story. There's a lot of magic that happens in this realm that goes unnoticed because people are in fear of how they'll be judged. So they're telling you, you don't need to be in fear of being judged. You just need to be you authentically. And once you love your own story, you're going to open up to so much more magic. Yeah. Love your story. Celebrate your wins. It's like it's like when we look back at everything that we've accomplished, right? Even just in the past year, 2024, there's been a lot of clearing and growing and evolution for humanity as a whole. And so looking back at that and having, having the desire, they're telling me that's not a good word. Being able to celebrate your wins, celebrate your successes, right? Like, yes, there may have been some downfalls. There may be some things that you have felt shame or guilt or maybe not been in integrity in the past. And you've also transitioned so much to get yourself to this space. If you're listening to this, you have already been working on your self-healing for some time, and they're just saying you're ready to step up to the next level. Your cosmic family is like, it's time for you to open up to allowing us to come in and help you through this transition, because you have something magical to share with the world. And right now, you're only operating at about 40% of your magic. 40%. So you have 60% more of magic to unlock, to be in your true authentic self. And it's this space of remembering who you are, remembering that, you know, you're not the stories of, there's this really good song I love. It's by India Arie. It's called I Am Light. And she says, you know, I'm not my past. I'm not my ancestry. I'm not my lineage. I'm not all of these things that society puts on us. I am me authentically. This is who I am. I may see fairies. I may channel messages for earthbound souls. I may be able to connect and speak to animals, right? There's so many magical things that can come through. I may be able to do, you know, things like work, deliver messages telepathically. I may be a grid worker. I may be gridding the earth to bring in higher vibrations of consciousness. There are so many magical things that we can be doing. And they're saying those of you who chose this pile they want you to open up. Your cosmic family wants you to open up so that they can help co-create with you. They want to work with you. They're not going to, so they want me, my guides are coming through right now and they're telling me they want me to share this message with you. You know, in my healing journey, a few years back, I believe even before I met my husband, there was this time where I was so connected, it maybe even a little more so than I am now, like to the point where I could go out and I could walk into a room and I could tell you what was going on with everybody in the room based off of the things that I was feeling in my own body, right? Based off of what I was hearing, I developed all of these beautiful clairs. And in that space, there came a point where I was told that, you know, these messages want to be channeled through me. And I had felt like I had just got control over my life again. I had quit drinking. I was, you know, eating well and taking care of my body and respecting myself and just putting so much love back into me, that the idea of working even with a higher power, something outside what I thought was outside of myself at the time, I didn't want to surrender to that. I had this control finally after so many years of feeling like I was completely out of control in my life. I finally had this control in my life back where everything just felt good. And I felt like I was, I was creating the life that I wanted to live. And then hearing that I had, this gift of channeling higher dimensions and these gifts that were coming through of like being able to feel, you know, what other people were feeling in their bodies, or being able to hear thoughts sometimes. Those gifts that came through, it was like, it made me feel like I had less control again, which then puts you back into this space of, you know, the ego, I like to call the ego the parent, that comes out and wants to protect, right? And so I went back into that space where it's like, nope, I just got control over my life again. I feel like everything's going well. I don't want to surrender to a higher power. And yet, once we do, once we open ourselves up, we open ourselves up to surrendering to our highest self, which is the best, most amazing possible version of us. And so that is the power that we are surrendering to. That is the God within. And when we get into that space, then we can co-create with spirit. Then we can, create whatever it is that we want to bring into this world that's going to be of service to others, that's going to be abundant for self. We can bring those things in at such a higher frequency, at such a higher return, right? Like the return on investment. Invest in yourself, fall in love with yourself, and take some risks. And from those investments, the return is going to be so much more abundant than probably you could even imagine. They're telling me to go ahead and pull from this deck. So let's see. I feel like this is going to be the last message for this pile. All right. And we got the air element. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Air element. Yeah, look at all of that gold, right? Again, with all of this like golden healer light body energy. It's like and the pinks and the reds, it's like opening yourself up so that you can fully receive what is to come through your cosmic lineage, that is going to help you advance to that next level of life, the level of being so aligned. And okay, they told me to pull one more because there's somebody that's watching this right now that has a question. And so they're saying they want me to go ahead and show. Okay, there's doubt. Thank you, Spirit. They're saying there's doubt. Okay. So there it is. Expressive. Right? So it's this, just as I said before, it's this throat chakra activation, being able to fully express yourself, even if that means that some people aren't going to take it the way that you would want them to, right? Of course, like if we're in a good vibration and we want to be kind, we don't want to have to say things to people that's going to hurt them. And so this space that your cosmic family is trying to get you to come into is just opening up to being fully in your power and being able to express yourself no matter what that means. And this is the biggest thing they're telling me that's going to help this pile with growing into this space and being able to turn on that other 60% of their magic is really balancing out the way that you express yourself. Balancing out the way that you express yourself. Okay, sit with that, because they're saying it goes so much deeper. So perhaps if you journal, write down in your journal, what are ways that I express myself now? How could I express myself more? And what will expressing myself do for my next present moment, right? For my future self? How is that going to align me? Sit with those topics so that you can really balance out this vibration of being in your power, being in full expression, taking risks, owning your story, loving yourself, and co-creating with those that are in higher dimensions. All right. Thank you so much to those of you who watched this reading. If you stayed all the way through, put a blue heart in the comments. That will help my channel. and it'll help us keep going so that I can get more content out there. The more people that come to me, the more messages I can put out, the deeper they're going to go, is what Spirit's telling me. So have a wonderful week, and hopefully we'll see you all back next week. Take care. Aloha to those of you who chose Transcendence. Whew, this energy feels fire, like so good. I'm laughing at myself because the Valley Girl type energy. It's funny. Anyhow, Transcendence. So rising above it all. Rising above it all. This energy they're showing me here, this energy is radiant within you. Like you are fully stepping into your power. You're just coming into self and really being able to express yourself in different ways and be open and honest about who you are, and not have a worry, not one worry about what other people are going to think, say, do, or feel about you, because you are being in your complete authenticity. So you've already embodied this. You're radiating this energy out. And there are these guardians. They're telling me these protection guardians that know what that know the light that you're radiating. Thank you, Spirit. They know the light that you're radiating, and they're here to help you. They're here to protect and help you. So they're telling me you don't have to, whoever chose this pile has probably struggled with sensitivity and feeling too sensitive at times, or feeling like you're picking up too much of the collective energy. And they're saying not anymore. You have come into a space where you have proven yourself, and by proven, they're saying you've done the work, you haven't shied away from it, you've done the things that you need to do to progress your life, to progress your healing. And because of that, you have these protector, guardian type energies that are around your heart, and they're like, don't worry, we are not going to let you down. Like, we are here to protect your heart space. They're protecting your aura, and any negative or low vibe energies that are trying to get through are going to be reflected back. So it's like this mirror image that they're giving me, where those energies from here on out are being reflected back to the senders. So whoever's sending you negative vibes, whoever is not in resonance with you, they are either going to fall off and not have anything to do with you. You may have, like, if you have like an email subscription, you may have people that fall off of that subscription. You may have people like stop following you on social media. This is for your own benefit. It's because those people are not in your vibration, and these protector guardians are reflecting their energy back to them, and they are retreating and backing off. And so this is a really powerful protection that's coming through for you. Can we get, I'm curious, Spirit, can we get more information about where this is coming from? Venus, they're telling me, the Venusians. So those of you who chose this pile may have been connecting with, or may have connected with Venus. If you haven't, tap in. This is Venusian family lineage that's coming through, that is saying, we have your heart, we are protecting you, we're protecting your aura. You don't need to call them in anymore. They are going to be there. One thing I've learned in my journey is just give them gratitude. That's really all they want, is gratitude. You know, I'm so thankful that my Venusian family is taking care of my heart space and my aura and reflecting back any negative energies that are being sent to me. You know, I just want to thank them. So you can use it in daily. You can use it in a gratitude meditation, however it may be, but it's the Venusians that are coming in and really helping you out with this energy. So let's see what else wants to come through. They're guiding me to I believe this is the Spirit Warrior Oracle here. So we'll just do a quick little shuffle. Okay. And then we're going to cut. So that was obvious where they wanted me to go. All right, let's see what we got. New moon. This is royal energy. Like the energy that's, yes, okay, thank you. They're like spot on. The energy that's coming through is you're finally stepping into your authenticity. You're finally understanding who you really are and how powerful you are. What a powerful creator you are. So you may have been told this before, but your thoughts, your words are speaking into existence the things that are coming into your life, and it's happening faster and faster. So make sure that you are speaking, all of the good things into your life and not the bad, that you're not down talking yourself. You're not talking badly to self, that you're giving yourself a lot of love, because this energy that's coming through is that in many lifetimes you were in this, they're telling me, like, humble and royal space. It's giving like queen vibes, but not the queens that, like, not what we've known, right, throughout our lineage. Like, this is giving, okay, thank you, this is giving goddess vibes, like the goddesses that had that did things for humanity, right? Like Kuan Yin, giving her compassion and her love to humanity, and Kali giving her fire and being able to transcend and help with rebirth for humanity. It's these really powerful goddess type energies. And so this transcendence is really showing you who you are. It's showing you how powerful you are and what just your thoughts and your words are creating. So if you are in the process of creating something, like if there's something that you want to bring into existence, speak it into existence every day. Because you are so powerful, the more that you speak it into existence, the quicker it's going to come. So if you want a new love to come into your life, speak that into existence. Act as if they're telling me, act as if they're already here. So and then use gratitude is what they're saying. So as an example, let's say you are calling in a divine union or a soul partner. And so every day, say, I have so much gratitude that my union has, that I've vibrated into my divine union, or I have so much gratitude that I've come together with my soulmate. I feel it, feel into that energy of what it would feel like to be with your soulmate, how that would, ripple effect through the rest of your life, and start to speak it into existence daily. If you are wanting to grow your business and bring in more clients or bring in more community, speak it into existence. Say, thank you for bringing this community around me. Thank you for bringing me the people that are in resonance with what I'm doing for humanity, that are able to help. Speak those things into existence. They're I'm having trouble with words right now because of my transition through wording that I'm working through, with my husband and studying etymology. But they're saying for you, just speak it every day. If you're calling it in, call it in. Don't just think about it. And when you start to have thoughts that are not in alignment, shift out of those thoughts. Shift out of those thoughts. I had something the other night where I started to think something that was not in the best vibration. And from that space, I realized how quickly my thoughts can spiral out and create so much more. And in that moment, I stopped myself and I said, no, this isn't happening. I'm going to cancel clear all of those thoughts that came through. And I know that because of this is going to happen. So it's, it's not going to set me back. It's going to push me forward, right? There's no setbacks, is what they're telling me. There's no setbacks. It's all moving forward. It's all moving into that energy of the new moon. Typically, the full moon energy is, releasing, letting go, purging. New moon energy is about what you're calling in. So what are you calling in? What do you want to bring into your life? And how do you want to do that? Let's see what else they have from this pile. Okay, they said 2. Gratitude and water. Oh, okay. This came through recently. Water. Using water to move things through your body, through your cells, through your energy quicker. So not just having that gratitude and saying, thank you for bringing me the love of my life. Thank you for bringing me, whatever it is that you're bringing in. Thank you for bringing me more business into my community. Thank you for these things. Not only having that gratitude, but also drinking it down. Start to use water as a medium for self, right? I started using that for the past. I've been doing this 21-day gratitude meditation, and I'm off. I don't know where I'm at. I'm probably on like day 19. But I've been listening to it every day while I shower. Like, I'm letting that gratitude pour over my body and move over me so that I can really take it in. And so you can use it in a shower. You can use it in a tub. You can use it in like a steam room. You can drink it down. You can write on your water. We had a good friend that did this. She would write all of these beautiful affirmations on her glass water bottles, and then she would drink them down every day. And so use water as your medium. It's going to help things come through a lot faster. Also, they're telling me that when you are dehydrated, when you're not properly hydrating yourself, is when you get stuck. You get into this space of just cycling and stagnancy and not being able to get yourself out of it. So remember, we're water beings. Humans are really water beings. So make sure that you are watering yourself, that you are getting enough hydration so that you don't have these stagnancies that are building up inside of you, so that you can move through, to these, continue to evolve. And it's just they're telling me it's gonna take you deeper every time. So can you tell me why that came through, Spirit, that take you deeper? They want me to show you a close-up of the cardigans. Let's see if you can see this. All right, so just play. They're showing me like the dolphins. Dolphins are about play and joy and wisdom, so much wisdom. And Okay, and as I'm saying that, my throat is like starting to lock up a little bit. And expression. Being able to speak into existence. I just told a good friend the other day about how I wrote this book when I was in first grade. And when I was, when we were moving and I was going through some stuff and I read it to my husband, as I was reading it, I realized that what I wrote in this book as a first grader was what happened to me in my life as a sixth grader. It was exact, almost verbatim, besides like some magical, imaginative stuff that I had put in there. But everything else was truth. And so those of you that chose this pile, I feel like you really are master manifestors. What you want, you get. Let me say that again. What you want, you get. Right? You may have heard that before. You're somebody who goes after what you want and you always get it. That's great. And what it also says is that because the universe doesn't know negatives, when you say, I don't want XYZ, all the universe is hearing is, I want XYZ, because there are no negatives. So be clear with the words that you are speaking and what you are bringing in, because you have the power, and you're realizing this more than ever. You have the power to create so much more than any human could really even imagine. You have the creator within. We all have that creator energy within us. And you're just now getting to this space where you are really open to it and understanding how much power, how much strength, how much like fierceness I'm getting that you have. And so call it in. Know that you have this strength and use your voice to call it in. I also feel like those of you who chose this pile need to be working with, you either need to be writing or singing or doing something where you are actively using your voice. Even an activist, right? Even just getting out and speaking, a public speaker, something where you need to be using your voice. Your voice is part of it's part of your evolution, right? You need to be using your voice. You need to be speaking more. You need to be singing more. You need to be your voice needs to be heard in whatever medium you decide to use, whether that's writing or or singing or speaking in front of crowds of people. Your voice needs to be heard. That's part of your dharma. Okay, we're gonna get 2 of these, they said. Right. There's 1. And thank you. Okay, so we have creator alchemy and bravely market your magic. Yeah, it's speaking whatever your magic is, speaking it into existence. It's you have such beautiful gifts that really need to be shared. And it's not about you taking any extra courses or trying to find your purpose. Your purpose is your voice. Your purpose is using your voice. So it's time to do that. It's time for you to open up and use your voice, however, whatever medium you choose to do that with is up to you. But it's time, because this light that's shining through, this light is coming from so many different realms and higher vibrations. It's your divine connection with source. It's your connection with the creator God. It's your connection with everything in all time and space that is going to bring all of these beautiful gifts into something so magical and so powerful, and so that it's going to just shift humanity. Yeah, this pile is for the light workers that are here to shift humanity. This is for the masters, the royalty, the game winners, the souls that have already come to earth and completed the entire game, completed their mission, and decided to come back at this time to help humanity. So, wow, powerful reading. They're saying that I can give you a topic to tap into your voice and how to use it. So what do you mean by that, Spirit? Can you please elaborate for me? Yes, that you are needing a little push. That if you chose this pile, you already know everything that I said. It's already so clear to you how powerful you are, that you are in gratitude, that you are working with different elements to bring in the things that you want, to really transcend the matrix completely, to alchemize and not just for self, but alchemize as a creator, right? Through your medium, through whatever it is that you're using. So it could be, creating a meme and putting that out there, and you have so much energy in that it's shifting pieces of humanity. It could be that you're writing a book, and that book gets out there and shifts and wakes up other souls that are going to help shift humanity. There's so much to your magic, and you know this. Like this whole reading was really just confirmation for self, for you to know that you have everything you need. And so to tap it, what do you need for the push, right? Because the push is what's going to get you. They're saying just do it. Jump in. Do it. No holding back anymore. No acting like you're not ready. You're ready. You are ready. Put yourself out there. You're going to be amazed at what comes back, because your energy, you are already in polarity. You are not going back and forth between duality and polarity like a lot of humanity. Those of you who chose this pile, you are in polarity. You know that what you give out, you get back. And you are in the energy of being in gratitude, in love, in integrity, in truth, right? All of these things are coming together for you. And all of that you're putting out is all coming right back to you. So put yourself out there. Let your voice be heard, however that may be. And stop wasting your time is the last message that they have. Stop wasting your time. All right. Well, powerful Transcendence reading. Thank you. If you've listened to this all the way through, put a dolphin in the comments for me so I know that you listened. It also helps my channel. And if you feel like any of these will resonate for anyone else, or you feel like you're thinking of someone specifically when you're listening to any of these readings, please forward them so that they may get the messages as well. Thank you as always. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Adios.